Hello everyone, and welcome back to Trains. Today, we're taking a journey along one of Britain's best-kept railway secrets, the Edinburgh Suburban and Southside Junction Railway, better known simply as the South Sub. This remarkable railway forms a 12-kilometre loop around the southern side of Edinburgh. It may not carry regular passenger trains today, but don't let that fool you. This line remains one of the most important pieces of railway infrastructure in Scotland, carrying freight trains, engineering trains, and occasional diverted passenger services around the capital. It's a route that most people have never travelled, making today's driver's eye view a real treat for railway enthusiasts. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the journey. Our adventure begins as we leave the busy tracks around Haymarket. Just behind us lies one of Scotland's busiest railway junctions, where trains fan out towards Glasgow, Stirling, Perth, Aberdeen and the Highlands, while others head east into Edinburgh Waverley. Almost unnoticed by thousands of commuters every day, the South Sub quietly branches away from the main line and begins its journey around the southern suburbs of the city. The railway opened in 1884. Originally built by the North British Railway to solve a growing problem. Freight traffic through Edinburgh had become incredibly busy, and there simply wasn't enough capacity through the city centre. The answer was to build a bypass around the south of Edinburgh, allowing heavy goods and mineral trains to avoid the congestion while keeping the main passenger routes clear. Ironically, the line was expected to carry very few passengers. But as Edinburgh expanded, housing quickly surrounded the railway and stations were built to serve the growing suburbs. As we climb steadily away from Haymarket, notice how the railway disappears into a deep cutting. Victorian engineers weren't afraid of a challenge, and this section climbs at gradients of around 1 in 80. Steam locomotives hauling heavy freight would certainly have had to work hard here, particularly during the winter months. Although we're surrounded by one of Britain's largest cities, it already feels surprisingly peaceful. The mature trees, stone bridges and steep embankments almost make you forget you're travelling through the heart of Edinburgh. We're now passing through Gorgie. Today, this district is famous as the home of Heart of Midlothian Football Club, with Tynecastle Stadium sitting only a short distance from the railway. Back in the railway's heyday, Gorgie had its own station, later renamed Gorgie East. Hundreds of local passengers would have used it every day to reach Waverley or travel around the suburbs. Sadly, like every station on this route, it closed when passenger services ended in September 1962. If you look carefully, you can still spot traces of the former platforms and station buildings hidden amongst the vegetation. For those who know where to look, history is everywhere along this railway. We're now approaching Craiglockhart. The original station opened in 1887 and served the growing residential area nearby. Although trains no longer stop here, several railway bridges and structures dating back well over a century remain remarkably intact. Just beyond the railway lies the famous Union Canal, another masterpiece of transport engineering that predates the railway by almost 70 years. It's fascinating to think that canals, railways and roads have all shared this corridor through Edinburgh for generations. Ahead lies one of the most attractive parts of the South Sub as we approach Morningside. This has long been regarded as one of Edinburgh's most desirable neighbourhoods. The former station was once a busy gateway for shoppers and commuters, but today little remains beyond subtle reminders of its railway past. This area also marks the summit of the South Sub. From here, the railway begins its gradual descent towards the eastern side of Edinburgh. We're now passing beneath Blackford Hill. Although hidden by trees from the cab, Blackford Hill rises above us and offers one of the finest panoramic views anywhere in Edinburgh. Nearby stands the historic Royal Observatory, which has watched over the city's skyline since the Victorian era. It's remarkable how many famous landmarks sit only a few hundred metres from this railway, yet remain completely hidden from view as we travel through these leafy cuttings. Blackford Hill station once welcomed walkers and visitors heading into the surrounding countryside. Of course, what was countryside in 1884 is now firmly part of suburban Edinburgh. As we continue eastwards, we arrive at Newington. This is where the original purpose of the South Sub becomes especially clear. Instead of forcing long freight trains through the already crowded platforms of Edinburgh Waverley, they could simply travel around the city using this bypass before joining the East Coast Main Line further east. Even today, that's exactly what happens. Almost every freight train crossing Edinburgh uses this line, making it one of the busiest freight routes in Scotland. During engineering work between Haymarket and Waverley, passenger trains are also regularly diverted this way, proving that the foresight of Victorian engineers continues to benefit the railway network more than 140 years later. We're now travelling along the impressive embankment near Cameron Toll. It's one of the most recognisable sections of the route. From here, the railway enjoys wide views across the surrounding districts, while below, thousands of cars travel the busy roads, often completely unaware that an important railway runs alongside them. This hidden nature is one of the South Sub's greatest attractions. It's a railway that quietly goes about its work every day without attracting much attention, yet it's absolutely vital to keeping freight moving across Scotland. Soon, we reach Duddingston and Craigmillar. This area has railway history stretching back even further than the South Sub itself. Nearby ran the famous Edinburgh and Dalkeith Railway, opened in the early 1830s and often known as the Innocent Railway because it was originally worked by horses before steam locomotives took over. The South Sub later connected into parts of this earlier railway, linking together two important chapters in Scotland's railway history. Ahead are the important junctions around Niddrie. This is where trains connect with routes heading towards the East Coast Main Line and destinations throughout eastern Scotland and England. Container trains, engineering trains, aggregates, construction materials and many other freight services regularly pass this way. Every freight train using the South Sub removes dozens of heavy lorries from Scotland's roads, making this railway just as valuable today as when it first opened in Victorian times. Every so often, something rather special also appears. Steam specials, diesel charters, and diverted express passenger trains occasionally use the route, creating unforgettable moments for lucky railway photographers waiting beside the line. As we approach the eastern end of the South Sub near Portobello, our journey begins to draw to a close. Portobello is famous today for its beautiful beach and Victorian promenade, but it has always been an important railway location where several major routes came together before heading south towards Berwick-upon-Tweed and London. Although passenger services around the South Sub ended in 1962, the railway itself never lost its purpose. Instead, it simply continued doing exactly what it had been designed to do, keeping Edinburgh's rail network moving efficiently behind the scenes. There have been numerous proposals over the years to bring passenger trains back to the South Sub. Many people believe reopening stations could transform travel around Edinburgh by creating an orbital railway linking communities without needing to pass through Waverley. Whether that ever becomes reality remains to be seen, but one thing is certain. This remarkable railway continues to play a vital role in Scotland's railway network every single day. For railway enthusiasts, the Edinburgh Suburban and Southside Junction Railway is truly something special. It combines Victorian engineering, hidden stations, fascinating history, busy freight operations, and some wonderfully scenic sections that very few people ever get the chance to experience from the driver's seat. It's proof that some of Britain's most interesting railways are not always the busiest or the most famous. Sometimes they're quietly working away in the background, performing an essential role while preserving more than a century of railway heritage. Thank you very much for joining me on this journey around one of Scotland's hidden railway gems. I hope you've enjoyed travelling along the fascinating Edinburgh Suburban and Southside Junction Railway. If you have, please give the video a thumbs up, share it with your fellow railway enthusiasts, and subscribe to Trains for many more driver's eye journeys, railway history features, and hidden railway adventures from across Britain. Don't forget to leave a comment below and let me know your thoughts. Would you like to see passenger trains return to the South Sub one day? I'd love to hear what you think. Until next time, thank you very much for watching, take care, and I'll see you on the next railway adventure.